Hey, what's up everybody? James Annan here from Expert Web Consulting. Thank you so much for checking out this video. And today I'm going to talk about a sales technique called scarcity. Okay, scarcity is a very important sales technique that some of the biggest businesses in the world use every single day in their marketing and on their own business websites. So today I'm going to talk about what it is, why it's important, and I'm going to run through some examples of how some of those businesses use it on their websites. So hopefully you can take away some of those ideas and strategies and implement them in your own marketing and on your own websites to help you get more clients and boost your sales. Okay, so that is the goal of this video. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so first things first, what is scarcity? As you can see here by my PowerPoint presentation, scarcity is defined as the insufficiency or the shortness of supply, or DARth. Now, what that means is exactly what it says. It means the shortness of supply. If something is scarce, then that means there is only a small amount left. There's only a couple of them. Okay. So why is scarcity important? I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But right now, I'm going to talk about people. Okay. Now, we as people, we're always wanting more and more items. Whether we need them or not, we still are always wanting more. And a few examples of that are clothes. We always want more clothes. We always want more food. This one's a big one. We always want more money. We want more out of our entertainment these days, whether it be a bigger TV or a flatter screen or HD or 3D. We always seem to be wanting the newest thing that comes out. Gaming systems, Xboxes, PS3s, DVDs, all that stuff. Bigger speakers maybe for our cars, or maybe we just want new cars in general. Now these are all examples that people have every single day of things that they want. Now this isn't as big of a deal as it was back in the day. It wasn't as big of a problem because today there are hundreds and thousands of these products out there that anyone can go out there and buy in a click of a button. And you can go out and shop. But back in the day, back when they first figured out scarcity, there wasn't all these products yet. They lived in a world where there simply wasn't as many resources, and they didn't have the means to supply everybody with all of the wants and the needs that they had. There was always a shortness of supply, and it was that shortness of supply that is the very definition of the term scarcity. So what happened was all these smart business people got together and they started trying to figure out what do they have to do to be able to supply everybody with all of their wants and their needs. How can we make all these products? And so this is when they started mass producing everything and mass marketing to all these people. So all of a sudden people had more products and more items out there that they didn't have, and they went out and they bought them, and everything worked great, and these smart business people made millions and millions of dollars. Now fast forward to today, and there's a little bit different of a problem that businesses have, because today there really isn't a scarcity issue going on anymore. Now there's hundreds and thousands of products, again, that people can go out and get at the click of a button. There's so many products out there that you can't even think up new ones because it seems like everything's already been thought of. And it got to the point where people who are wanting things started becoming procrastinators. Everyone knows what procrastination is, and people started putting off going out and buying the things that they wanted because they knew that there was so many of them out there that they could go out and they could get them whenever they wanted. And we all know that if you're a procrastinator like me, you know that you tend to put things off, those things that you know you can get done at a later date. Well, it was the same thing with buying products. People started putting it off, and some people just never ever got around to buying anything that they wanted until they really needed it. So then these business people had to get back together and start thinking again, how do we battle this whole procrastination thing? How do we get people to buy more often and buy more products? So they started trying to think, and what they figured out that you could take any particular item, any item in the world, and if that item was in plentiful supply, then people just don't seem to pay attention to it as much as they do if they were to find out that that exact same item were in short supply. Because then people would realize that there's a possibility that that item may be gone soon, and if it's gone, it could be gone forever, and they would never ever get the chance to ever get that item again. And because of that realization, people tend to pay attention to those items more, the ones that are in short supply. They tend to stand out more in our minds. It grabs our attention a little bit more, and we think a little bit harder about those items and whether or not we should try and obtain those items for ourselves, because we know they could be gone soon. It could be gone forever. So businesses started trying to figure out how they could use scarcity in their business marketing. So they started doing it, and it worked great. They did a great job, and they made millions of dollars again. And the smart businesses are still using scarcity in their marketing today. They're using it on their websites. And these businesses know that people tend to want the most those things that they cannot have. Or they want the most the things that are a little bit harder for them to get. And this is scarcity. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some examples that some of the most successful and some of the biggest businesses use to try to get people to buy their products more. And hopefully you can learn some ways where you can use these exact same sales psychology techniques in your own business marketing and on your own websites. So that's the goal of this video. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how it's used in marketing every single day. Okay, chances are you see it being used every time you look in a newspaper, if you look at the classifieds. Or if you're driving down the highway and you look at a billboard, you might see it being used on the billboard. Or every time you're watching TV and you start flipping through the channels, and if you see commercials, you probably see it being used in commercials as well. And basically, it's every time you see an advertisement that says there's a sale going on for a limited time only. Or if you see an advertisement that says there's a sale going on for today only. Or if a sale is going on a certain day of the week, maybe it's a Friday, maybe it's a Saturday. All of these advertisements are using scarcity. And the goal is to trigger that unconscious thought process in your mind, and you think about these ads a little bit more. They stick out, they stand out above all the other ones that don't use scarcity, and they want you to pay attention to those advertisements a little bit more, and to think a little bit harder about whether or not you should go and shop at that store on that particular day at that particular time. This is the goal, and this is how scarcity is used in advertising. And scarcity is also used all over the web in every single industry out there. It's used in selling tickets to concerts and seminars and to professional games and events. If you're shopping for airplane tickets, say you're going on vacation and you're shopping for plane tickets, you might see it being used on there. Like right here, there's only 2 tickets left at this price. This is using scarcity. It's letting people know there's only a couple left. You better think hard about whether or not you want to buy that flight. Or if you're shopping for concert tickets, you might see it being used. 34 tickets left, 10 tickets left, 2 tickets left. Now, these are real snippets that I got off of real websites. This one right here is from StubHub.com, and this one down here is from American Airlines. And if you've heard of them, there's 2 of the biggest names in each of their respective industries. And you can see right here, they're using it right here on their website. Now, let's say that maybe you're not into selling tickets or products. Maybe you're into real estate, or maybe you're into the consulting business. One thing that you might do is schedule a seminar that goes on once every couple of months. And during the seminar, you could just have people come in, and you can give them tips, give them advice on what's going on in your industry. You can hold discussions, things like that. Maybe you can set aside a special week out of the month where you have a special sale going on for any service that you provide. Or maybe you could just do a podcast and put it out on your website. Do a podcast once a month or once a week where you could go on and you could discuss what's going on in your industry, the current market trends, advice, and things that customers should be looking out for. And you can start building a small following maybe. An example that I thought of is every single morning when I drive to work, I listen to ESPN radio. And every day they're always telling me what's going on in the sports world. What they're keeping me up to date, things that are happening every single day. And I listen to it every day because I want to know what's going on. I like sports and I want to be in on the whole sports world. I want to be able to talk about it with people, with like-minded people.